In 1964, in Warren, Ohio, on a dead-end street, we lived in a 3-bedroom home where there was no amenities. There was cracks in the windows and the roof. It was cold in the wintertime, hot in the summer. We didn't have inside amenities, no bathroom, furnace, no running hot water. We didn't have a lawn. We didn't have many things. My father, who was the only one who worked in the household, because there were 9 of us children, he was an ex-military soldier, but he also had a dark aura that caused us to be afraid of him a lot. Most of the time, we were afraid to talk to him. And we never went to church, even though my parents were raised in church. We never went. My uncle, Sidney, bless the Lord, he asked my dad one Sunday, and I'm not quite sure why my dad agreed, but I thank God he did. He asked, could he take us to church? And my father agreed. So Uncle Sidney would come pick us up for church every Sunday. And for us, it was such an escape. We looked forward to Sundays. I got saved during that time. A few other my family members got saved and became active in church. It was a wonderful time in our lives. We looked forward to it. At some point, my uncle decided he was going to combine all of his services and his membership with another church. My uncle moved his membership, and at that time, my dad didn't like the pastor of the other church, so he refused to take us anymore. And again, another dark time. So we went from having no amenities and no church to being able to go to church, and now all of a sudden we're not able to go to church. Wow. So what we did was trusted God. We were only children, but we trusted God. My 2 oldest brothers, they were able to take themselves to church. My oldest sister, Mary, had moved away. So my father refused to take the rest of us to church. So we prayed and we fasted and we had church. My aunt had given us a piano. We had church. We used pie pans for tambourines. We improvised a lot of instruments and we played drums. Even though we didn't have drums, we would use sticks from the yard and play drums. And we had church. We had preaching. My brother preached. We had testimony service. My parents were not at home when we were doing all this. And you would think as kids we'd be out playing, but we were actually having church and raising our voices to the Lord at that time because we needed Him. We needed Him in such a magnificent way to deliver us and allow us to serve Him freely. So for years, 7 years to be exact, my dad refused to take us to church. Every Sunday when we asked, he said, absolutely no. And I'm not quite sure what happened this particular Sunday, but my dad said, go get dressed. And everybody within an earshot, you could hear feet running throughout the house. Everybody was getting dressed, and we were so elated. The excitement and the jubilation we were just bursting with excitement to be able to do something simple as going to church to serve God. My Lord, what a time. And that at the time when we were trusting Him, the scripture that we held most dear to us was that God would never leave us and He would never forsake us. And even to this day, I trust God just that way, that He would never leave me nor forsake me. So we believed Him that way. As a result, my oldest sister, she's a missionary. My brother James, a pastor in study. George is pastoring. Johnny is pastoring. I am a music artist and praise and worshiper, a leader, theater. I do theater and film. I just trust the Lord with everything in me. Johnny is a pastor. Greg is a pastor. Thelma, she's a prophet and a dreamer. Margaret, intercessory prayer warrior. Then my sister, Arma, she's a gospel recording artist and teacher. All of us are musicians. Only God could do such a magnificent work in our lives because we believed Him. We believed God for deliverance. So as children of the church back then, we are now the church. All because we believed God